Welcome to this video which was made by the Southwark Enhanced Intervention Service. Today's video will focus on anxiety management strategies, looking at how you can reduce your own anxiety, but also how you can support people with learning disabilities with their anxiety. If you are further interested in some of the strategies we talk about today, we welcome you to watch our anxiety management video level 2, which will talk about further strategies. In our previous video on anxiety, we noted that anxiety is a natural human emotion in response to a threat. People are more likely to display behaviour that challenges when they are anxious. People with a learning disability and autism often need support to reduce their anxiety. Everyone gets anxious at times, but people with learning disabilities and autism are more prone to anxiety for various reasons. Today we will go through some strategies that you can learn to manage your own anxiety, but also you may teach to people with learning disability or autism that you support, to help them to reduce their anxiety. In this video we will cover relaxation strategies, including progressive muscle and controlled breathing, self-care and soothing strategies, positive statements, problem solving, and the worry tree.
Before we start today, it is important to remember that for each person, there is a different set of activities and skills that will help them relax. So the first step is to find out the ones that work for you and the ones that work for the person you are supporting, and then to practice them. It is also likely that there are some methods that we will talk about today that you already use to reduce your anxiety or to support the individual you are caring for. So let's start off by thinking about some of the exercises, practices, or activities that you use regularly. These might be more formal methods such as mindfulness, or less formal methods such as reading a book. Some ideas might include going for a walk, exercising, yoga, baking, taking a long bath, having a massage, playing with a preferred toy or game, or anything else that you know lowers your anxiety. Take a few moments to note them down. You can pause the video now if you would like some more time. If these strategies work for you, there is no need to change them, but you can add some of the strategies that we talk about today to your toolbox. Let's start with some relaxation strategies. Relaxation strategies can be useful in reducing general anxiety levels and tension over time. They are not a cure for anxiety. They should be practiced regularly, like exercise, and they should not be used to prevent or get rid of panic or severe anxiety symptoms in a phobic situation. Relaxation strategies address anxiety by working on the physical effects of anxiety. They reduce muscle tension, slow down breathing, and calm the mind. These strategies can be structured, for example, using controlled breathing, meditation, mindfulness, or unstructured, for example, self-care or massage. In this video, we will be talking about controlled breathing and progressive muscle relaxation. For more information about mindfulness, please see our mindfulness video.
Wherever we go and whatever we do, we take our breath with us. It is our life's anchor, and if we can focus our attention on our breathing when we feel anxious, this will help calm our mind and our body. This is why we often say to ourselves and each other, just take a few deep breaths when we're feeling worried or anxious. By altering the speed of our breath, we can change our body's anxiety response. Controlled breathing is a technique that involves slowing down the breath to communicate safety to the brain. While controlling our breathing does not eliminate the anxiety when you're feeling anxious, it can be a way to get through a tough situation and calm the body so that you can make a good decision about what to do next. Let's look at a brief example of controlled breathing. going to do a controlled breathing exercise. So it's a really quick exercise that you can use wherever you are to try and control your breathing, which helps relieve your anxiety and stress. So the key to this is to practice it regularly so that then you know how to use it when you need it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves into a comfortable position. So wherever you are at home, you can be kind of on a chair or on your bed. Try and have your back against the back of the chair and try and put your feet flat on the floor. So we're going to be taking some deep breaths today. So we want to put our hands on our tummy so we can feel our tummy going in and out as we breathe. We're going to be breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. So when you're breathing in, try and imagine smelling a pretty flower. And when you're breathing out, try and purse your lips and imagine blowing out a candle really slowly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take deep breaths. So we're going to breathe in for 4, we're going to hold our breath for 4, and then we're going to breathe out for 6. So it's 4, 4, 6, but I'll guide you through it. So let's give it a go. So we're going to breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, in, hold, and out. You can also use or create visual resources that can help regulate the person you're supporting's breathing. On the screen are some examples of visuals that you could use. You can also encourage the person you're supporting to smell the flowers when breathing in and to blow out the candles when breathing out, but remind them to do this very slowly. Now let's talk about progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR. Another way to think about relaxation is that it is the absence of tension in the body's muscles. Just imagine being able to simply release your body's tension instantly. Deep muscle relaxation is incompatible with our body's anxiety response, so by consciously working to reduce muscle tension, we can actually influence how anxious we feel. PMR is a set of exercises aimed at helping us reduce anxiety and tension in the body. Through the practice of tensing and relaxing muscle groups, we learn to feel the difference between tension and relaxation and release muscle tension when we feel it. This communicates calm and safety to our body, reducing the body's need to activate the fight or flight response. Here is a short example of what PMR looks like. The next one, we're going to push our shoulders right back, so we're trying to make our shoulders touch at the back. 5 seconds, let's go. And relax. Next we're going to start with our left hand. So we're going to make our left hand into a fist, a really tight fist, 5 seconds. Let's go. And relax. Next one we're going to make our arm into like a muscle pose for 5 seconds. So let's get ready and go. Really tight. And relax. And then we're going to do our right hand next. So we're going to do a fist first, really tight for 5 seconds. Let's go. And then relax.
For an extended exercise, please see our PMR video. You can use this whenever you want to practice it. As with the breathing exercises, you can easily adapt PMR to use with the individual you are supporting. You can create visuals and even create a game to incorporate the exercises. Now let's look at some self-care and soothing strategies. We all know that anxiety can be very difficult to live with, so it is important that everyone has their own ways of looking after themselves and providing care to themselves. This might include talking to loved ones, going out socialising, having a bath or engaging in self-care, engaging in a hobby or activity, or anything else that lowers your anxiety and stress. In this video, we are going to discuss 2 key self-soothing strategies. The first is exercise. Research has shown that regular exercise can help with anxiety and low mood. Have a think about what exercise you like. It does not have to be a structured sport. It might be dancing, Zumba, yoga, or walking, or anything else that gets you moving. The second is sensory self-soothing. We all have sensory activities that we find soothing. Think about if you like baths, soft materials, snuggling into a blanket, hugs or pressure, having a massage, or using fidget toys or gadgets. People with autism will also have very specific sensory needs, and activities should be offered to meet their needs and lower their arousal levels.
Next, we will talk about using positive affirmations and coping. Often, when we are in a state of anxiety, we say negative things to ourselves. We may catch ourselves saying things such as, "I'm a bad person, I'm just useless, I can't even do this, whatever I do, it just goes wrong." This reinforces the idea that anxiety is dangerous, which causes more anxiety over time, as the words that you say to yourself affect your mood and behaviour. By telling ourselves positive affirmations rather than focusing on our negative thoughts, we can change how we feel. Positive statements are methods of giving yourself encouraging feedback rather than constantly bombarding your mind with negativity. Using past experiences, they can encourage us and help us to cope through distressing times. They may help to reduce your sensitivity to threat, which forms the basis of anxiety. They have been shown to predict a less anxious response and make situations seem less threatening, in addition to boosting your self-esteem and helping you to focus on positive thoughts rather than being preoccupied by negative self-criticisms or negative thinking patterns. Examples of coping statements that you can use on yourself include: stop and breathe, I can do this. This will pass. I can be anxious and still deal with this. I have done this before and I can do it again. This won't last forever. It's okay to feel this way, it's a normal reaction. Right now, I am not in danger. Right now, I'm safe. I can use my coping skills to get through this. You can also say positive statements to the individual you are supporting, or show them positive gestures, as this will give them positive feedback and help them to cope during times of anxiety. For example, "You are safe and you are doing so well." Here are some top tips for creating positive statements.
Positive statements should be phrased in the present tense. For example, I am able to support X. I have all the tools I need. They should be said in the most positive way possible without any negative language. For example, instead of "I must stop panicking," say "I am calm." The statement should be simple, precise, and clear. Keep them short so that you can say them in one breath. And finally, they should be prepared in advance so they are personal and meaningful to you, and focused on the negative ways in which you often think. For example, instead of "I don't know what to do," repeat "I am strong, I can cope." Repeat these throughout the day or make a tape recording so you can listen to them periodically. Do this even if you feel awkward or feel as though you do not believe them at first. And also, make them easy access. For example, write them down on your phone or by keeping cue cards handy. Next, we are going to talk about problem solving. Problem solving is the process of identifying stresses and creating strategies to manage them. It can make your anxiety more manageable, and is a powerful tool to add to your anxiety management toolbox. As humans, we try to avoid situations, people, places, and/or even thoughts which are likely to distress us to avoid us going into survival mode. We also ruminate and worry about things without actually solving the issue. This avoidance helps us prevent us becoming distressed in the short term. But avoidance is one of the main factors which keeps the problem going over a long period of time, because we are not actually dealing with the problem. It also interferes greatly with our everyday lives, where life can become much more restricted, which makes us feel even worse. To overcome your problem, we need to overcome the avoidance. We can learn to face the fear. Using the FACE problem-solving technique, we can overcome problems. Face and identify your target problem. Think about what you need to face and solve. Action. Deciding on the steps you need to take. Coping. Identify your coping strategies and resources. Evaluate. How did it go? You can do this by using these steps. Step 1. Identify the problem. Break it down into smaller steps and decide what you need to do in the first action. Step 2. Brainstorm and write down as many ideas as you can that might help solve the problem, no matter how silly they may seem. Don't dismiss any possible solutions. Often, coming up with the silly solutions helps you get really creative. Step 3. Consider the pros and the cons of each possible solution, using separate pieces of paper. Step 4. Choose one of the possible solutions that looks likely to work, based on advantages and disadvantages. Step 5. Plan out step by step what you need to do to carry out this solution. What? When? How? With whom or what? What could cause a problem? How can you get around these problems? And is this realistic and achievable? Step 6. Do it. Carry out the plan. Step 7. Review how it went. Was it helpful? Did you achieve what you set out to achieve? If not, how could you have done it differently? Did you achieve any progress, however small, towards your goal? What have you learned? And finally, step 8. If you achieved your goal, consider tackling the next step of your original problem.
And finally, we're going to talk about a strategy for managing the worry that is often associated with anxiety. Worry is a particular problem associated with anxiety. Worries are thoughts about the future. They are often negative predictions and can go around and around in our heads. They often do not have a solution, as they are predictions about the future, so they can be very difficult to move on from. The first thing to do is to learn to notice when you're worrying. We all worry, but some people do it more than others, and each of us have specific situations or times of day that trigger us to worry. Worry can actually cause anxiety. The constant going over of something in our minds actually causes us to feel more and more anxious. We have to learn to notice the worry in order to stop this cycle. Notice the worry. Ask yourself, am I worrying? Ask, what am I worrying about? And then ask, is there anything I can do about this? If the answer is yes, ask yourself, can I do it now? If not, then ask yourself, well, when can I do it? Schedule a time in your diary to think about this some more, but for now, move on to letting the worry go. If the answer is yes, do it. You may need to use the problem-solving exercise that we just spoke about, but that will give you a clear plan of action. If the answer is no, there's nothing I can do about this, then you need to let the worry go. To let it go, you may need to engage in something distracting for a while. You may need to repeat your positive affirmations that you can let the worry go, and you may need to do a relaxation exercise, or you may even want to write the worry down so it's out of your head. The important thing is you give yourself permission to move on from the worry. The worry tree will help you decide what to do when you're worrying. If you have enjoyed this video and found these strategies helpful, you may wish to watch the next video, Anxiety Management Level 2. This covers some more complex and detailed strategies to help you manage anxiety.
This video is brought to you by the Southwark EIS.
Thanks for watching. We hope you have found this video useful. If you'd like any further information, please do not hesitate to contact us.